For the first time, KSBW is getting a chance to explore a Central Coast landmark that was one of the most secretive places in the world. The Point Sur Naval Facility, located in the shadow of the Point Sur Lighthouse, played a crucial role in helping the United States win the Cold War. With special permission, we were able to see the property with someone who used to live there.
For the longest time, nobody knew exactly what was going on here, and I just think it's an incredible story that, has not been told.
It is a place of mystery, hidden in plain sight off of Highway 1 along the Big Sur coast. Maybe you've driven by, never knowing the secrets from within. But now we're getting the rare chance to step inside the Point Sur Naval Facility to tell you more about the unique history of this place and to tell you the story of one man who used to call this place home.
I do remember the other brothers and sisters telling me, don't ask Dad what he does, just don't bring it up and don't talk about it. And we never did. And it was always a secret.
Casey McGrath lived here on base when he was 8 years old. His yard was the beach. He loved it. His dad, Lieutenant Commander Ronald McGrath, was the commanding officer from 1962 to 1963.
He was in charge of this multi-million-dollar project here, and hundreds of men that I didn't know about. I thought there was maybe a couple other men here. Turns out there was 100 people stationed here.
The naval facility was one of 30 top-secret sites worldwide built during the Cold War. The goal, to detect Soviet submarines using the Classified Sound Surveillance System, or SOSUS. Secret technology once kept in this building behind a fence and a guard shack.
It had cables that ran out into the ocean starting in the 1950s. Cables had hydrophones, and they could listen for Soviet submarines.
The technology was so sophisticated that they could actually identify individual submarines just by their sound signature.
The beauty of it was the Soviets didn't know that we could do this.
I would argue that, our ability to track those Soviet submarines and then get air resources on them if we needed to was critical in us winning the Cold War.
The work was so secretive, the public was told a different story. Point Sur even had a fake logo.
The community was just told that this was just a place for oceanographic research, and very little other information was given out.
While the public was not told what was happening here, that didn't stop rumors from spreading.
My favorite is that there were submarine pens underneath the station here, or underneath the lighthouse rock. That's a big one, and some people in Big Sur will say, oh, we knew what was going on there. It's like, no, you really didn't.
The naval facility grew to include a gym, a bowling alley, a movie theater, and several bars on base before it officially closed in 1984. All of the buildings, with exception to the one housing the SOSUS technology, were eventually given from the Navy to state parks, which used part of it as housing. But with time and neglect, many buildings are weathered, rusted, and crumbling. A far cry from what used to be.
Oh, wow.
This includes McGrath's old home.
Yeah, Mom raised 6 kids here. Wow, what a difference. What a difference 60 years make, huh?
Is it hard to see it in such bad shape?
It hurts my heart to see it in such disrepair. But of course, that's what happens over time with neglect. But I sure would like to see these buildings repurposed.
This is what state parks and the volunteer group Central Coast Lighthouse Keepers would like to see as well. They recently added limited tours, a small exhibit, and gift shop, and more buildings restored would mean people would get a better understanding of what this place looked like when it was open.
What we'd like to do what we have been able to do at the light station, and that is restore this place so that the public could walk here, see what it looked like, and understand what it did.
While McGrath is saddened by the condition of his old family home, he says he's still thankful for the chance to look back.
Picture myself and the whole family right here in front of the house.
And reflect some 6 decades later.
I can feel my family's presence here. Well, unfortunately, my dad never talked about it, so I had to read about it. So to find out the specifics of what he did and how important it was to national security really made me proud.
The sound surveillance system at Point Sur is one of the last remaining facilities of its kind and the only one remaining on the West Coast. Today, the cable is not intact for its full length. Navy officials say it is too expensive to repair even for scientific research. The building where it once was stored is still owned by the U.S. Navy. We are told they use it to house equipment for oceanographic research. How about that?